Okay, everybody's tagged. So here we are with break number 44, another 2020 Elite case and priority box. Team list for today is Broncos Mark Tickner, Raiders Matt Presbury, Bulldogs Luke Houghton, Sharks Dylan Cameron, Titans Matt Price, Manly Rob Provost, Storm Marcus Nicholson, Knights Michael Feledy, Cowboys Peter Walsh, Eels Raj Singh, Panthers David Collins, Rabbitohs Arthur McGuire, Dragons Shawn Elliott, Roosters Jeremy Timmins, Warriors Richard Nairn, and Tigers Shawn Carroll. Alright guys. You get this case card open and check what's going on. Today we have Kalen Ponga and Valentine Holmes, number 65 out of 65. Alright, so let's get stuck into it, guys. Brent Nairn for the Panthers, parallel. Trent Merrin, parallel for Dragons. Dylan Napa, parallel for Bulldogs. James Maloney, points scored for the Roosters. Latrell Mitchell, top point scorer for the Roosters. Dally M. Jared Croker, parallel for Raiders. Women's NRL for the Roosters. Samai Matofa. Games played, Jared Croker for the Raiders. White Young Guns, Jaden Sewer for the Rabbits. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck for the Warriors. Women's NRL, Brittany Brealey for the Dragons. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Maroons jersey. Brody Croft, parallel for Broncos. Jai Arrow, parallel for Titans. Titans team photo. Women's NRL, Holly Wheeler for the Dragons. Women's NRL for the Warriors, Shante Poco. James Tamo, meters gained for the Cowboys. Knights parallel checklist. Women's NRL for the Broncos, Taryn Aiken. Adam Reynolds, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Bulldogs club photo. Cameron Smith, parallel for Storm. Meg Ward, Women's NRL for Broncos. Cameron Smith, Dally M, Captain of the Year for the Storm. Cowboys checklist. Cameron Smith, tackles made for Storm. Dylan Brown, parallel for Eels. Just fix up the base cards, guys. Alright, next box, guys. Andrew McCulloch, tackles made for Broncos. Apposite Coruscant for Panthers. Women's NRL, Shawn, Crystal Tamarua for the Warriors. Broncos checklist, parallel. Jared Croker, points scored for the Raiders. Cooper Cronk, assist for Storm. Adam Dewey, parallel for Tigers. Roosters club photo. Josh Jackson, Dally M, Proven Summons medalist for the Bulldogs. Edric Lee, parallel for Knights. Julia Robinson, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Paul Vaughan, Knights club photo. Billy Slater, Master Series in the Storm. Adam Blair, parallel for Warriors. Jake Friend, parallel for Roosters. Women's NRL for the Warriors, Madison Bartlett. Payne Haas, Rookie of the Year for the Broncos. Tyrone Peachy, parallel for Titans. Keys Yaps, Women's NRL for the Dragons. White Young Guns, Stephen Crichton for the Panthers. Cody Walker, parallel for Rabbitohs. Aiden Tolman, meters gained for the Bulldogs. Shawn Johnson, parallel for Sharks. Women's NRL, Ruan Sims for the Roosters. Adam Fanua Blake, parallel for Manly. Charles Nicole Klokstad for the Raiders. Corbin McGregor for the Roosters. That's the end of box 2, guys. Alright, beginning of box 3, guys. Jake Friend, tackles made for Roosters. Clinton Gufferson, parallel for Eels. Batil Yvette Walsh, women's NRL for the Dragons. Maddie Studden, women's NRL for the Dragons. Thomas Burgess, parallel for the Rabbits. Ken Mormalo, winger of the year for the Warriors. Isaiah Yeo for the Panthers. Bulldogs club photo. Josh Adokar for the Storm. Jeremy Marshall King, parallel for the Bulldogs. Try scored Akula Iwate for the Knights. John Bateman, Dally M, second row of the year for the Raiders. Raiders checklist parallel. Isabel Kelly, women's NRL for the Roosters. Brian Kelly, Titans parallel. Titans club photo. Women's NRL, Georgia Hale for the Warriors. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Storm. Darius Boyd for the Broncos. Ali Brigginshaw, women's NRL for the Broncos. Michael Morgan, parallel for the Cowboys. Cameron Smith, games played for Storm. White Young Guns, Ryan Pappenhausen for Melbourne. Warriors checklist parallel. Games played, James Maloney for the Warriors. Daniel Saifiti for the Knights. Chelsea Leonard Dursey. Women's NRL for the Broncos. Last pack for box 3, guys. Parallel, Tyson Frizzell for the Dragons. Box number 4. Brett Morris, try scored for the Dragons. Women's NRL, Ali Brigginshaw for the Broncos. Jason Taumalolu, parallel for Cowboys. Hey Richard. White Young Guns, Bailey Simonson. Panthers parallel checklist. Women's NRL, Georgia Hale for the Warriors. Hayne Haas, parallel for Broncos. Sharks club photo, redemption card. West Tigers club photo, redemption card. Billy McGuire, parallel for Sharks. Women's NRL, Kira Dibb for the Roosters. Danny Levi, parallel for Manly. Games played, James Maloney for the Warriors. Sydney Roosters, parallel checklist. Appy Nichols, Women's NRL for the Warriors. James Tedesco, Dally M, fullback of the year. Blake Ferguson, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Maddie Studden for the Dragons. Master Series, Billy Slater for the Maroons. Will Hopewade, parallel for the Bulldogs. Josh Hodgson, parallel for Raiders. Isabel Kelly for the Roosters. Callum Watkins, parallel for Titans. Jonathan Thurston, assist for Cowboys. Josh Alai, parallel for Tigers. Gaines played, Cameron Smith for Storm. Mitchell Moses, halfback of the year for the Eels. Jerome Hughes, parallel for Storm. That's the end of box 4. Start on box 5. Meters gained, Aiden Tolman for the Bulldogs. Dean Ware, parallel for Panthers. Jante Poco, Women's NRL for the Warriors. Dragons club photo. Corey Oates, parallel for Broncos. Andrew McCulloch, tackles made for Broncos. Cameron Murray, lock of the year, Dally M. David Clemmer, parallel for Knights. Crystal Rota, Women's NRL for the Warriors. Nick Kotrick, parallel for the Raiders. Tigers checklist. Tarrant Aiken, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Sorry guys. Raiders checklist, club photo redemption card. Samaima Torfa, Women's NRL for the Warriors. James Graham, parallel for the Dragons. Jessica Surgis, female player of the year, Dally M for the Dragons. Titans checklist, parallel. Billy Slater, Master Series in the Kangaroos. Cody Nicarima for the Warriors. Women's NRL, Brittany Brealey for the Dragons. White Young Guns, William Kennedy for the Sharks. Damien Cook, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Tom Trbojevic, Manly parallel. James Maloney, points scored for the Roosters. James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. Cameron Smith, tackles made for the Storm. Parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL, Zahara Tamara for the Roosters. Box number 6, guys. Micah Sivo, top try scorer for Eels. Dally M, Dale Finnecane for the Storm, parallel. Assist, Jonathan Thurston for the Cowboys. Parallel, Nathan Peets for Titans. Jared Croker, try scored for Raiders. James Tarmo, parallel for Panthers. Women's NRL, Crystal Tamarua for the Warriors. Jermaine Isako for the Broncos. Storm redemption card. Chad Townsend, parallel for the Sharks. Women's NRL, Karina Brown for the Roosters. Cameron Munster, 5'8" for the year for the Storm. Manly parallel checklist. Brett Morris, try scored for the Dragons. Sai Takaho for the Roosters. Racine McGregor, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Valentine Holmes, parallel for Cowboys. Warriors club photo redemption card. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Maroons jersey. Oh, sorry guys. Reid Mahoney, parallel for Eels. Shaylee Bent, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Ruben Garrick, White Young Guns for Manly. Dallin Martin Zalesniak for the Bulldogs. Cameron Smith, points scored for Storm. Corey Horsburgh, parallel for Raiders. Women's NRL, Corbin McGregor for the Roosters. David Nofaluma, parallel for the Tigers. Last packet for box number 6, guys. Women's NRL, Kathleen Wharton for the Warriors. Alright, so here we go with box number 7. Mitchell Moses, parallel for the Eels. Women's NRL, Tiana Penatani for the Dragons. Aidan Coleman, parallel for the Bulldogs. Games played, Jared Croker for the Raiders. Latrell Mitchell, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs club photo. Brendan Smith, interchange player of the year for the Storm. Joseph Tapine, parallel for Raiders. Chelsea Baker, parallel for Broncos. Latrell Mitchell, centre of the year for the Roosters. John Asiata, parallel for Cowboys. Meters gained, James Tarmo for Cowboys. Women's NRL, Nita Maynard for the Roosters. Philip Semi, parallel for Titans. Eels club photo redemption card. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Storm. Stephen Crichton, parallel for Panthers. Women's NRL, Aisha Lee Smalley for the Warriors. Patrick Herbert, parallel for Warriors. Jesse Bromwich, parallel for Storm. Jessica Sturgis, Women's NRL for the Dragons. White Young Guns, Nick Meaney for the Bulldogs, Anthony Milford, parallel for Broncos. Jake Friend, tackles made for the Roosters. Heimel Hunt, parallel for Knights. Women's NRL, Millie Boyle for the Broncos. Blake Laurie, parallel for Dragons. Last pack, guys, for box number 7. Akula Uate, try scored for Knights. Women's NRL for the Dragons, Batil Vets Walsh. Try scored, Jared Croker for the Raiders. Isaiah Soliola, Ken Stevens medalist for the Raiders. Wade Graham, parallel for the Sharks. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Roos. Kyle Flanagan for the Roosters. Kathleen Wharton, Women's NRL for the Warriors. Katoni Staggs, White Guns, Young Guns for the Broncos. Corey Thompson, parallel for Tigers. Assist, Mitchell Pearce for the Roosters. Women's NRL, Karina Brown for the Roosters. Daly Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. Broncos club photo. Storm checklist parallel. Racine McGregor, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Whoa. Ken Mormalo, parallel for the Warriors. Halfway, or just over halfway through box 8, guys. We've got a parallel for Alex Johnston. Scott Drinkwater, parallel for Cowboys. Paul Gallant, meters gained for the Sharks. Regan Campbell-Gillard for Parramatta. Shaylee Bent, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Josh Jackson, Bulldogs parallel. Manly club photo. A few packets left, guys. Tim Glasby parallel for Knights. Chelsea Leonarduzzi for the Broncos. Payne Huss, prop of the year, Dally M for the Broncos. Ben Hunt, parallel for Dragons. Last pack for box 8, guys. 3 boxes in total now. Cameron Smith, points scored for Storm. 1, 2, and lucky last 3. So this is box 9, guys. We're opening now. Meters gained, Paul Gallen for the Sharks. Cameron Munster for the Storm, parallel. Meg Ward, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Josh McGuire, parallel for Cowboys. Jared Croker, points scored for Raiders. Nick Meaney, parallel for the Bulldogs. Cowboys Redemption Club photo. Connor Watson, parallel for Knights. Julia Robinson, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Cameron Smith, hooker of the year, Dally M for the Storm. Corey Norman, parallel for Dragons. Mitchell Pearce, assist for the Roosters. Women's NRL, Holly Wheeler for the Dragons. So about halfway on box 9, everyone. James Tedesco, Dally M Medalist of the Year. Aaron Woods, parallel for Sharks. Ryan Sims, Women's NRL for the Roosters. Joel Thompson, Manly parallel. Panthers redemption card check photo. Luke Keary, parallel for Roosters. Women's NRL, Madison Bartlett for the Warriors. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Storm. Alex Twal. Cooper Cronk, assist for Storm. Chanel Harris Tavita, parallel for Warriors. Women's NRL, Keys Yaps for the Dragons. James Roberts, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Last packet for box 9, White Young Guns, Milwaukee Fotowaka for the Titans, Ryan Madison for the Eels. Alright, last box of the case, box number 10. Latrell Mitchell, Dally M for the Roosters, top point try scorer. Mitchell Pearce. Master Series, Billy Slater in the Maroons. Rabbitohs checklist parallel. Meters game, James Tarmo for the Cowboys. Millie Boyle, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Isaac Luke, parallel for Dragons. Knights club photo. White Young Guns, Reece Robson for the Cowboys. Victor Radley, parallel for Roosters. Appy Nichols, Women's NRL for the Warriors. Benji Marshall, parallel for Tigers. Roosters club photo. Andrew Fafita, parallel for Sharks. Hey. Yeah, right. Blake Green, parallel for Warriors. That's odd. Timmins NRL, Jessica Surgis for the Dragons. Women's NRL, Kira Dibb for the Roosters. George Tafua, Manly parallel. Jared Croker, games played for the Raiders. James Maloney, points scored for the Roosters. Aisha Lee Smalley for the Warriors. Patrick Carrigan, parallel for Broncos. Jack Whiten, parallel for Raiders. Nita Maynard, Women's NRL for the Roosters. Tyrone Roberts, parallel for Titans. Cameron Smith, tackles made for Storm. Cameron Smith, captain of the year for the Storm. James Fisher Harris for Panthers. That's the end of the case boxes, guys. We have our one priority. On a bit of a roll today. Finished on the hour, on the dot, basically, for the case. James McLoney, games played for the Warriors. Kira Dibb, Women's NRL for the Roosters. Storm checklist. No distractions today. Not right at this moment anyway. Maddie Studden, Women's NRL for the Dragons. Tackles, Jake Friend for the Roosters. Scott Drinkwater, parallel for Cowboys. Cameron Smith, games played for the Storm. Jessica Surgis, Women's NRL for the Dragons. And there's our first priority hit. Regan Campbell Gillard, Parramatta Parallel. Women's NRL, Isabel Kelly for the Roosters. Josh Jackson, parallel for Bulldogs. And that's halfway, or this is halfway through our priority box, guys. Tim Glasby, parallel for Knights. Akula Iwate, try scored for the Knights. And there's our first one. Wade Graham, parallel for Sharks. Women's NRL, Appy Nichols for the Warriors. Dally Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. Few more packs. This is the 8th last pack, guys. Alex Johnston, parallel for Rabbitohs. We are running a bit ahead schedule to normal today, guys. Panthers redemption card. Kyle Flanagan for the Roosters, parallel. Ken Momalu, parallel for Warriors. Ali Brigginshaw, Women's NRL for the Broncos. Master Series, Billy Slater for the Maroons. Corey Thompson, parallel for Tigers. 2 packs left, guys. Interesting. Ben Hunt, parallel for the Dragons. Cowboys club photo redemption card. Alright, that's the end of the boxes, guys. I think we're pretty much, everyone's here ready to go. I was going to do another tag, but I think looking at the numbers watching, everyone's watching. Just going to check comments on YouTube. No comments on YouTube. Alright. Well, let's get stuck into it, guys. First Ruby of the day. George Chafua for Manly. Number 2. Alright, next up, Ryan Pappenhausen Number 12. Chanel Harris Tavita for the Warriors. Number 32. Nathan Peets for the Titans. Number 35. Joseph Tapine for the Raiders. Number 37. Cody Walker for the Rabbitohs. Number 27. Brody Croft for the Broncos. Number 25. Jake Friend for the Roosters. Number 37. Cowboys checklist. Number 28. Two more to go. Second last, Edric Lee for the Knights. Number 13. Alright, lucky last Ruby for the break. Dallin Watine Zalesniak for the Bulldogs. Number 29. Alright, straight into our Sapphires. Cameron Munster for the Storm. Number 18. St George checklist. Number 7. Benji Marshall for the Tigers. Number 14. Joel Thompson for the Manly. Number 10. Reid Mahoney for Eels. Number 6. Last but not least for the Sapphires, James Fisher-Harris for Panthers. Number 11. Welcome, Luke. Just so you know, if you didn't see it, we've got Dallin Watine Zalesniak, number 29 so far for you, buddy. Nothing majorly special, but hopefully there's more to come. David Clemmer, Emerald for Knights, number 4. Alright, next up, Bulldogs checklist. Nice hit, Luke. Number 10. And last but not least for our Emeralds, Aaron Woods for the Sharks. Number 3. Alright. What have we got next? We'll do our Black Young Guns. Bailey Simonson for the Raiders. Number 6. 006. Next up for Black Young Guns, we have Kyle Flanagan for the Roosters. Number 70. Last but not least, we have Ryan Pappenhausen for Storm, number 41. We'll do our White Young Gun priority to finish off with the Young Guns. Then we'll do our Dally M to finish off our priority. We have Marita Nakor for the Eels. Number 16. Congratulations, Raj. Alright, our 2 Dally M's for today. First up, Latrell Mitchell, top point scorer. Number 17 out of 67. And Cameron Munster, Captain of the Year, number 40. Alright, next we'll do our White League Sensation. We have 1, we have 2 blacks. Alright, our first League Sensation, Jai Arrow for the Titans, number 66. Alright, Black League Sensations, we have Tom Trbojevic for Manly, number 2, nice low number, congrats to Rob. Next Black League, we have Benji Marshall for the Tigers, Shawn Carroll, 36. Alright. Here we go. Team Cameron Munster, League Sensation, number 14. Storm's definitely had a good run today. Alright, next up, once again, congrats to Raj Singh. Road to finals, Clinton Gufferson, number 46. And there we have Spotlight Josh Hodgson for the Raiders, number 61. Matt Presbury. Alright, last but not least, guys, it's number 1. Number 1, guys. Oh, who's the lucky man? I only got 1 spot in today's break. Congratulations to Mr. Jeremy Timmins with the Roosters. number 1. Nice, very nice. Alright, so last but not least, to finish off today's break, we have the case card randomiser, which is Kalen Ponga for the Knights and Valentine Holmes for the Cowboys, number 65. So I'll get that set up. I'll chuck his back over to the tray. So as we can see, everyone's actually got something today. Whoops. Which is always a good day. So let me load the teams. And who was it? Knights and Cowboys. Alright. We should be ready to go. Yep. So the team in spot number 1 at the end is the winner of today's case card. Number 2, last but not least, Cowboys. Congratulations to Mr. Peter Walsh. Alright guys, that's the end for today's break. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. I have 2 team randomizers to do, so they will be up this evening.